thing you want to do before you run off and leave these things, first of all, tag it with what you did and what you found so the next guy knows. Make sure you set your burner and your blower back to remote to operate off that guy down there. And then since we replaced the battery on this, let's turn it off so the battery doesn't die. What's up, guys? Looking to see what I got here. Oh yeah, so we got a lift. And a Cambridge unit that's not working. In an empty warehouse. It's unusual. That's helpful. So we're in heating. We've got a lockout of some sort, reset. Heat's on at 42, off at 55. It's fairly normal. We're reading good temperatures, so I'll have to get up there and see. Maybe we got a high limit or something tripped. It's an old one. Been hit with a forklift a couple times. Gas is on. Vent goes out over there. Let's pop these doors and see what's got us locked out. I'll have to get the other side to check the belts, but they look pretty good from here. Got some dirt in the wheel, but nothing unusual. What happens a lot of times, see, this is set. This is the old style. It's turned almost all the way up. It's set on 8. You can see that number there. A lot of times with these old ones, they will overfire and they don't regulate correctly. Really probably needs an upgrade too. It uses new valves, but we can adjust it down and just monitor our temperature. It's probably what we're going to end up having to do, at least temporarily, because the conversion for these to the newer controls is quite expensive. Let's check our high limit. Alright, well, high limit's closed. So that begs the question, what the hell happened here? Most likely had a problem firing then. The high limit's not open. This old one does have, I believe, so I got a sensor here and a sensor down here. I think it's in the supply. And I think these old ones had K-type sensors, so I should have a K-type plug in the control box here that I can plug into and check temperature. Let's go that route and get a reset and see if it fires. If it don't fire, we'll have to break that union and try to slide that burner out. So somebody's been playing with this thing. Relays everywhere. New transformer looks like. So those sensors come back into this control, so we can actually, once we turn power back on, we can get a discharge temperature. Get it turned on. See what happens. Hear a damper. It's got an old, somebody's messed with the damper too. See a wire hanging over there, and damper's not moving. And this ain't working either. Maybe get a new battery on that, it might work for me. We'll put it in local. Yeah. So, damper's not moving. We're gonna have to get over there and figure out what's going on with that damper. It's not the old screw type, so somebody's, you can see the cover's off. Somebody's been messing with that. Let's get on the other side and see what we got there. So before I went over there, belts are loose and wobbly. I have a feeling they wired around that damper. The overload here was tripped. So we're gonna have to get an amp draw on the blower and tighten those belts up. See if the burner will fire. So, looks like the burner is going to be okay. Let's get a battery in this. Go ahead and turn my burner back off. Let's get on the other side, adjust the belts, and take a look at that damper. I have a feeling that damper's been bypassed and just stuck open. It's probably why it's so cold in this space too. Damper's on the supply here, so if it doesn't close, you'll get that cold air migrate right down into the building. It's freaking freakishly cold outside right now too, so let's get over and do that stuff. We'll go from there. Belts are extremely loose. I have to adjust that. Got some mud diapers in here at the motor. We'll see what the amp draw is supposed to be. That's not helping us. That panel should be there. We'll get a look at our burner. That could be cleaned a little bit, at least the flame sensor, but you can see our damper is in the open position. And disconnected. There's my damper wires. So they've just bypassed the end switch and opened the thing up, which, you know, it's not perfect, but it works. It really needs a new damper. We'll write all this up, see what they did. Let's clean this up and get my belts adjusted and get that panel back on. Alright, so got our belts tight. We've made a note of everything. Got my panel back in place and we put that back on. Somebody's been up here hacking this thing apart. It's gonna work for now, but we're gonna write up the actuator. It needs new belts. I mean, it really needs to be burner pulled and cleaned, and then clean up all this crap. But we're just trying to get the heat on for right now. That ought to be moving a whole lot more airflow. We got, pretty sure we're 480 volts, so we're gonna be 7 amps, 14 amps if it's 230. And we're gonna get back to the other side, button this up, fire it off, and check some amp draws and temperatures. All right, so here we go. Got a new battery in so we can see our discharge temperature and the high limit temperature. So let's go back to local. Local burner should be getting ready to fire. I'd like to find the cover for that high limit too. I don't see it in here. We are heating, so watch where our discharge gets. We can adjust that valve. Like I said, it's just a 1 through 9. Should be trying to maintain about 140 or something. I don't remember exactly, but so we are 460 volts. We'll see where our supply tank is. I'll be good with 140 or so, 120. Y'all can't see it, but the amp draw's good. 5.4. Now, it could have been higher because we were slipping, but you can see that overload's got a setting on it too. And we're set at right about 7 amps, a little over 7 amps, which is what the amp draw is rated. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not sure why it would have tripped, but there's no telling what happened. We're just gonna monitor and watch that. Yeah, the high limit's a lot less than the discharge, so 140. We're gonna monitor for a little while and see where we go, but this is all looking pretty good. My burner's modulating back. You can see that burner is a whole lot smaller than it was before, because I'm pretty sure we're trying to maintain that 140. Like I said, those orange knob gas valves get out of whack, but usually you can tell pretty quick because it'll just overfire. And this one doesn't look like it's doing that. It looks like it's modulating pretty good. So we're going to let her run for a little while and watch it. And we might clean up a little bit inside a little bit more, but they're going to have to make a decision. They need belts and actuator. The controls seem to be okay, so I'd say to leave the gas valve and such, but they really need new belts. They're about out of adjustment on that blower. It's moved back just about as far as it's going to go. So we are going to adjust a little bit. My amp draw is still good. They could add a power surge or anything. It's hard to say what tripped that overload because the amp draw is fine. Showing 149. Actually verifying on mine. About 154, so let's adjust. You heard that burner back off. Went down from 8 to 6, so 2 numbers. You heard the burner back off a whole lot as soon as I hit it. So we're gonna monitor and see where my supply temp is, adjust some more if we need to. It's going off of a CFM rating, which is not right because it's old and the belts are been adjusted way out, but 140 degree temperized. I'm probably 10 or 15 outside right now, so the 140, 150 was starting to get up there. So this is probably more normal with my outside temperature right now. Damn mud daubers everywhere. Whole lot happier with it now. 125 degrees. I'm showing 135, but still, I think right within my range. I'm gonna be happy with that because it's pretty damn cold outside right now. As it warms up, this temperature is gonna keep climbing. Check our high limit temperature. We're good. So we should have good airflow, at least enough to not trip the limit. That's what I don't want to do, is trip the limit as it warms up another, we get odd days where it's 0 to 10 outside in the morning, and then you get 40 and 50s in the afternoon, and that's when we don't want this to overfire and trip the high limit. But it all looks good right now, so I'm gonna watch it for a little while longer. We're still good on our amp draw. That's gonna about do it for this one. This is pretty easy, so not much to these things. They need some work. We're gonna recommend that they do the actuator and the belts and clean this thing up a bit. Y'all know how that goes. That'll probably never happen because it's working. But at least they've got some heat for right now. Should be warming up next week and see where we go from there. So leave me a comment, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Hit the thumb. See you guys next time. That's a nice looking burner. We modulated down. Actually kicked it back up a little bit. We got 140. I'm happy with that. High limit temperature 90. Not even close. So we ought to be good. I did find out when we had an ice storm about a month ago, and it's been about a month since they had heat. That's probably why the overload tripped. They had a power surge in here, so they had a bunch of other issues as well. We're just finally getting here to look at the thing. That is a nice wiring job, but she gonna be alright.